This is literally the dumbest question a reporter can ever be asking a hostage. Watch this video.
You think they starved you or they just didn't have food?
What was it to you that was like, nah, this is very inappropriate?
A person just came from being held hostage and you want to ask him a question like that? Like, hey, maybe they didn't have any food. Maybe they didn't have food to give you. Go back to the clip and I'm just purely trying to pay attention to the words she used.
The terrorists became very mean and very cruel.
The who?
The terrorists.
Terrorists. He didn't say the Palestinians.
More so.
Much more so. They were beating me and starving me.
Do you think they starved you or they just didn't have food?
Look at his
I
answer
think
right
they
here.
starved me, and they would often eat
In front of me.
in front of me
Right.
and not
Can you do me a
offer.
favor, Rob?
Now let me tell you one thing. The only people in Gaza that are not hungry are Hamas. And that's because they've been stealing your aid money. They've been taking these trucks full of food that are coming to Gaza, coming from Israel, from the US, from Europe, and they've been stealing them in broad daylight, filming themselves so they can keep eating while they starve the Palestinians and obviously starve the hostages. Now here's also, and that's a key moment here, that's why we can't trust anymore mainstream media, because the reporters are either stupid or full-on propaganda machines. You see, this lady, she's been talking to a hostage that has been kidnapped by terrorists. This has been established in the conversation very easily from the beginning. And he just told her how these terrorists, how he saw with his own eyes how the terrorists were sexually abusing, sexually assaulting other female hostages, how they've been torturing him, beating him up, murdering his family and his friends. And then she comes and she asks him, well, maybe you were hungry because they were hungry too, because they don't have food. And why is she asking that? Because she's probably trying to promote this agenda that there's no food in Gaza, and that's why Hamas is hungry, and that's why the hostages are hungry, because Israel is not providing them food. But that's not true. He told them, no, they ate in front of me. We have so many testimonies of hostages when they're saying that we're eating in front of them, laughing at them, abusing them. And there was another hostage that I saw the video where he said, you can endure everything, but hunger, that's something you can't control. That is pain that is just growling inside you and just keep going.
ידעת שאביתר דוד וגיא דלל נמצאים שם בטנדר ממש סמוך אליכם במעמד השחרור?
תשמע, אני לא מכיר אותם. לא הכרתי את רוב החטופים, אבל אני מבין שהם חטופים כי הם קרחים והם רזים והם לא נראים טוב, ואני רואה אותם בסטרס. ואני שואל את המחבל שלידי שמחזיק לי את היד, אני אומר לו, מי נדול לי, מי אלה? והוא מתחיל להסביר לי שעוד חטופים כמוני שהם היו עם עומר ונקרט, בעצם באותה מנהרה, והם באו לראות את עומר משתחרר הביתה. והוא צוחק, זה מצחיק אותו. אתה יכול להתמודד עם הכל, אתה יכול להתמודד עם זה שמשפילים אותך, אתה יכול להתמודד עם זה שמקללים אותך, אתה יכול להתמודד עם השרשראות ברגליים. הרעב זה התמודדות יומיומית, כי מעבר לזה שאתה רעב, אתה גם נלחם על החיים שלך. חודש לחודש אתה מסתכל על החברים, ואומר בוא היחיד, תשמע, ירדת קצת ככה, תשמע, אחי, רואים לך את הצלעות, אתה עצמך מתחנן. והם נהנים מזה, הם יודעים שהם מריבים אותך. הם רואים שבאיזשהו שלב לקום לשירותים, אתה חושב 3 פעמים לעצמך בראש אם אני רוצה ללכת לשירותים או לא, כי אני הולך במסדרון, יש לי סחרחורת. אחרי היציאה של אלי ואור, זה עשה רעש כנראה מאוד מאוד מטורף, ומאותו רגע 5-6 ארוחות ביום.
מסוגל לאכול כל כך הרבה בשלב הזה?
אתה כל כך חסר ביטחון, מחוסר ודאות של תזונה ואוכל, שאתה רוצה להכניס לפה כל דבר.
Western media, as we know it, is literally in its dying steps. Any person with half a brain in his home knows by now you cannot trust Western media. They're paid by someone, they're sponsored by Qatar, or I don't know what, by some woke billionaires that want to destroy the West. And if you want to consume that, then that's on you. But you know what? It's very sad, very sad. You can see in his face when he looked at her, when she asked him from an interviewing perspective. And I'm learning right now how to interview. I was very good in how to interrogate, and now I'm kind of shifting to how to interview. And it's a whole art. There's literally a whole art, and every podcast that I do, I become better and better at it. And then I look back and I realize, okay, maybe I should talk less, pause more, ask more open questions so I can get his real answer rather than just try to push him towards an answer that I'm trying to get. And it's a whole art. You keep learning as you go to be able to bring you a better interview. So in that moment, you can see in his eyes, he looks at her and he's like, and I think that in that point, he kind of realized, okay, she's not with me. She's trying to push it towards some weird direction, Or maybe she's just not very intelligent. And that's when she lost him, because I feel like this interview could have had way more potential in bringing the truth that happened, but instead they had someone that was trying to push some kind of an agenda. And we, the viewers back home, when we feel, at least me, when I feel that this is happening, I just skip. I'm not interested in watching this anymore. That's why I stopped watching Disney. Disney used to be the cutest videos in the world that I loved. I would never let my kid watch Disney today, because you know what? Just let us watch cartoons. We don't need you to give us videos that will tell us how to think about different stuff in our life. And if anyone thinks otherwise, he's wrong. Just leave it that way. That's why it's very hard to find good action movies today. You just want to have a good action movie, Rambo 3, RoboCop, I don't know what. Just want to go, put the TV, watch some movie, watch what you like to watch, and then finish with it. But with Western mainstream media, you can't have this anymore. That hostage, Keith, he kind of reminds me of a famous actor. I forgot his name. Molonkovich, something, you know. But anyway, he speaks kind of in the same way. You have the same facial structure. If you find the name of that actor, if ever they do a movie, I think he should definitely play that hostage, because he's one-to-one the same image of that person. Anyway, that was a disgraceful interview, I think. I mean, there were a few good points there, but that question, boy, how stupid that question was. Anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, feel free to do the like, shebang, subscribe, everything in. If you want to help me keep growing my channel, go and check my Patreon, where you can find practical, direct ways of how to do it. But until then, don't do anything stupid. In general, just learn how to talk and learn how to listen. I think that's something that many people don't have in our world. And I'll give you a good tip from the negotiation world. The less you talk, the less you expose. And the more you create a vacuum in the air, where the other one, people have the need to fill the air because they're uncomfortable. They're feeling uncomfortable. Okay, I need to fill. So when you want to know how someone is thinking, just try to talk less and try to listen more. And when you want to prolong that conversation, just do what it's called in the world of investigation, echoing. You know, they've been starving us. Starving you? Yeah, they've been starving us. They didn't give us food. No food? What do you guys eat? And then the conversation continued. They were rejoicing in seeing us suffer, rejoicing in your suffering. That echoing, not only from an investigation or interrogation, but just from a conversation perspective, you're reaffirming what is important for you to hear, or what you may be kind of trying to understand what is going on. And the other person can jump into that void and keep the conversation. So in that way, you can actually keep the conversation going in the direction that you want the conversation to go, because there's nothing wrong with that. You invite someone to talk about high tech, and then he starts telling you stories about his dog and his puppy and his cat. Now that's not very interesting. You want to focus the conversation back into technology. So you move the conversation. That's a good interviewer. You move the conversation, and I'm learning that on my skin right now. You move the conversation towards where you want it to go, where you think is going to be interesting for the viewers, for you, but you can spot when someone is either just not intelligent or trying to manipulate the conversation towards a way that is either woke, communist, anti-Western values, pro-jihad, and I don't know what. So anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed today's video. Like I said, don't think it's stupid. In general, just don't do anything like I would do. See you next time.